Go for a sensitive approach to love.
Yeah, right.
So I wrote this little song called I've Been Drinking Straight Tequila.
You're the lover that I waited for, the mate that fate and me created. The dance floor's deserted. You play the same line. Oh, son, it's a temptation. Can't you see? I'm no good without you. I wanna lose them. Your goodbye. Let your eyes they cry. How can I ever make it without?
I'm the owner of Mixie Shoe Garnish, and we're a company that makes women's shoe accessories. And let me show you how to wear them. For example, if you see the simple black pumps, you can add our Mixie on it, and it becomes a completely new pair of shoe. This same Mixie can be worn on tops and hair. So you can use them as hair accessories. To check us out at mymixie.com.
Yet you are my favorite work. Is your figure less?
On the stairs, Peter Casera, the dancer, Ginger Rogers.
So we came together to form this thing, and lo and behold, things started to happen, and Robert Redford jumped into the mix, and he started an organization called the Sundance Institute, which still exists today. And he agreed with the notion that there were all kinds of incredible things that needed to be done, and so he wanted to help projects get made. And they selected 10 scripts to go to the very first Sundance Institute and to be looked at by various screenwriters and different people, etc., to help us get it into better shape.
Host of California Scenes and the special guest to my left. If you don't know him by now, well, everybody run to Blockbuster because he has many Blockbuster hits. Some of you may have heard the song, some of you might know the movie. Selena, the director, the man that made it happen, the man that showed J-Lo the way to go. I'm here with Mr. Gregory Nava. It is my pleasure to have these few memorable moments from me to all of you at home. We just came here. We are live in Azúcar in downtown, and we just came back from an unbelievable movie. It's the 25th anniversary of El Norte, and if you haven't seen it, that is your next movie to watch. Other than giving credit to Gregory Nava, I have to say thank you, Maybelline Waterproof Mascara, for that movie that made me look the way I do now, because it was touching, emotional, and I'm going to try to keep composure, but the man is going to tell us what made this movie so powerful for you.
Well, it tells, I think, a timeless story and a universal story about people who have to leave their homeland because they're suffering tremendously, and to go and try to make a new home in a new country. In this case, the young brother and sister Ruiz and Enrique have to leave Guatemala, and they travel to the United States where they must work without papers, and it's a very tragic situation, and it's a very sad one. The film, though, has a lot of humor as well, so it's a big journey, it's an epic journey, and I think that you really fall in love with those two young people and identify with them in their journey.
Now, I know we have a lot of young people watching our show. What is it?
You know, young people love this film, and I've always identified with El Norte because Rose and Enrique, they're both teenagers, and suddenly they lose their mother and father, and they have to make choices that are life and death choices.
That many of us, when we do grow up, it's like, I didn't know we have to.
That's right, you know, and when people see that, they really fall in love with those characters and identify with them, and think, my gosh, what would it be like if I had to suddenly was put in a situation like that? What would I do?
I can't help but ask, you are so successful, not only in the business, as an artist, as a husband.
Well, as a father.
As a father, I'll repeat that again.
We try.
As a father, as a man, as a human being, really.
We try,
capture those.
But I think that, you know, one's journey in life, you know, is a very powerful, baffling, mysterious, incredible thing. And I love the poem by Antonio Machado. You know, traveler, there are no roads. You make your road as you go. And these are the words I've always lived by. I think that we're all on our unique journeys in this life. And, you know, it's a very, very special thing. I feel very honored to be here, to be honored by the San Jose Latino Festival, and to be with so many people I've known and worked with, like Moctezuma Esparza, and to meet wonderful new people like yourself. And it's all part of this wonderful journey that we think about as our lives.
I can't help but ask, is it about love? Is it about luck? Is it about money? Is it about who you know? What you know about who you know?
I think that it's about passion. It is about passion. You must have something that you are burning to say, that you're on fire to say, that if you just can't go on unless you see it on the screen. That's the kind of passion that you need to be successful as a movie maker. And if you don't have that passion, you're not going to make it. I mean, I really, the longer I go, the more I do. It is the people who are passionate are the ones who are successful.
May I call you Gregory?
Yes, of course.
Gregory, when did you know that this is your medium? I mean, there's art, there's paint, and you seem like a wild
When I was about 6 years old, I decided I wanted to be a filmmaker. I mean, I didn't know that was exactly what it was, but I went to the movies a lot, and I wanted to be whoever made those magnificent dreams happen on the big screen. I wanted to be that person.
Is it because you broke many remotes?
No, I mean, when I was a kid, we used to go to the movies. You know, and that's still the best. I love going to the theater. You're with a bunch of people. The lights get dark. It's a communal experience. You see that giant image on the screen. There's nothing like it. I always encourage people, go to the movies. That's the best way to experience it.
Are we moving ahead in the movie industry or back?
Ahead in some ways, back in others, you know. I think that obviously there's a lot more opportunities for Latinos than when I made El Norte 25 years ago. That was the only one, you know, it was the first one. Kind of opened the doors. There's a lot more opportunities now. There should be more. There's still a lot of struggle that we have to do. But so in many ways we've gained a lot, and yet in other ways, you know, you wonder if the kind of movies that are made nowadays have the same depth, the same themes, the same, you know, as films used to have. We do seem to be tending to around more of the big event. You know, and I love Spider-Man. I think it's a great movie. But I do think that, you know, I do. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. And, you know, the Batman film was great. These big event films are marvelous. But we seem to be gravitating more towards those and less towards films about humanity.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
Yes, I love that as well. I adored Ratatouille.
The director's name is Frankel. I have to plug that in. Yesterday I found out we have a boxer in the family at the Asian Pavilion.
So, but I think that these are great films, but I do think that there's room for different kinds of films. And I know that when I made El Norte, I was part of the American Independent Film Movement, and that was about 25, and we shook things up, you know, Spike Lee, myself, Sales, making different kinds of movies, different themes, and it really resulted in a lot of interesting kinds of movies being made. I think we need something like that again.
You obviously set standards and walls to break and Oscars to meet. Who inspired you?
Well,
other than the everyday fan, the everyday...
Well, I've been, you know, filmmakers, obviously, I love Luis Buñuel, I mean, the great Latino filmmaker who made Los Olvidados and Exterminating Angel and Viridiana. Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, I adore his movies, he was very inspiring to me. And I love filmmakers who really broke ground, like Orson Welles and Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese. You know,
everybody write those down.
You know, Raging Bull was such a tremendous, groundbreaking film, and I was inspired by these filmmakers, by their vision. And that's what I think is important: vision and passion. This is what counts, I think, when you're making
MVP: mission, vision, and plan.
Passion.
Passion. Mission, vision, and passion. Aside from film being in your biological clock, as you have said those words before, what do you love?
Oh, well, you know, I think that I love so many things, and in a way they are all interrelated to movies, because when you do a film, you draw on mythology, painting. I love all of these arts very, very profoundly, and I love to travel. I love to go to ancient ruins. I get a tremendous amount of energy from going to ancient places. Like I recently went to Cambodia to see Angkor Wat and those amazing temples, the pyramids in Egypt, these places, the great pyramids in Mexico, like Monte Albán and Teotihuacan. I love going to those places. I always get very inspired by those places and get a lot of energy that I bring to the films that I make. Different things inspire you as a filmmaker.
And through your life, probably through the years.
And people I've known and worked with, like Jennifer Lopez, like Eddie Olmos, like Zaida Silvia Gutierrez, who plays the lead in El Norte. And she's such a marvelous actor. I get so inspired by the people I work with that, you know, it does call you to rise to greater heights.
You mentioned Jennifer Lopez. You obviously opened doors.
Yes.
Who opened a door for you?
You know, it's...
That you would consider a door opening.
You know, you can't do this on your own. That is really true. You gotta rely on other people and people's faith in you and their belief in you. There's a guy here in the Bay Area, Tom Luddy. I know people haven't heard of him, but he's been very important to me in my career. You know, he saw my student films and he thought, here's a talented guy. And so when I made El Norte, he went to see it. He was head of the Telluride Festival. He put it in that festival, which at that time was the most important festival in the United States, and every major critic and distributor in the country saw it, and they all went crazy, and that's how that film came to be. So he's always been a great supporter of mine, and then subsequently he worked with Francis Ford Coppola, and he brought me to Coppola's attention, and Coppola executive produced Mi Familia and helped make that film happen. So Coppola and Tom Lundy, were very important to me, and I really have always felt very strongly about both of them.
I don't want to ask this obvious, generic question that everyone has probably been asking you, but what's next?
Well, in order to make things happen in the film business, you got to have about 8 things on the stove.
And we heard your audience giving you suggestions.
That's right. But one of the great projects I have is with Moctezuma Esparza, who gave me the award tonight. He's a wonderful producer. We made Selena together, and we're doing a giant 10-hour miniseries epic project for HBO based on Victor Villaseñor's great novel, The Rain of Gold, La Lluvia de Oro, and it's going to be a tremendous project, and I'm really looking forward to doing that.
When this man speaks, it's not just about art. You have this thing that just moves people, almost like a preacher.
Thank you.
Who is behind you? What lives in your spiritual?
I think that if you're Latino, you see yourself as part of a generational process. I stand on the shoulders of giants who brought me to where I am, and I really think about my parents and my grandparents, and those are my heroes. I mean, my father is a great hero to me because he is somebody who suffered a tremendous amount of discrimination, and yet he bore it without complaint and with honor. He served in World War II. And fought for this country, and he's still alive. He's 87 years old, and I've gotten tremendous, and he supported me, both me and my mother, who I also adore.
El Norte, it's going to be out the DVD in January. California Scenes.
On Criterion.
On Criterion.
We're here down at the Mushroom Festival here in downtown Morgan Hill on a Sunday afternoon. On stage behind me, we have Say.
Ready, let's do it.
Saki from Spinia Restaurant in Fremont. We've been here since 1951. And what else do you want to talk about? Here for over 60 years, 70 years. Recently this year we did a lot of donations to other hospitals and the first responders. We donated a lot of food from lunches to dinners. And so we're trying to get through these tough times, and now we're going to be opening up soon, and that's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next we have.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Walsh, and I'm the fashion stylist here today for Celine Jeanette and David Klein. David Klein is the sister design, and the purses are from Celine Jeanette at Hawaiian Glass Girls. And right here we have, I'm Mariah, and some of our stunning girls.
Hello there, my name is Lillian, and my model name is Phoenix. I'm here representing Janae and Slade with these beautiful luxury bovine leather handbags. And this has the Cupid just for the I Love You bags for Valentine's Day 2021.
This is the must-have trend right now.
Okay, then we have at the far right.
Good evening there, folks. This is Tom Bailey, lead model of Janae and Slade handbag lines. As you can see, love is in the air with their new Valentine's Day collection. You don't want to miss out on these good bags. We have the heart leather bag right here. We have this other one right here. Isn't it just lovely? So come on down to get your Janae and Slade handbags, because I slay with Janae and Slade.
She's a freak. on your worst nightmare.